For decades, Nigeria's oil and gas story followed a predictable script, a script written in the creeks of River State, echoed in the industrial zones of Delta State, and broadcast to the world from the oil capital of Port Harcourt. These were the giants, the established centers of power, the places where billion-dollar deals were signed and energy empires were built. But history has a pattern. It rarely announces its next chapter loudly. Sometimes it whispers. And right now, that whisper is coming from an unexpected place, Imo State. A state long known for education, commerce, hospitality, and diaspora wealth. Now stepping into a new, completely different arena, energy. But not just oil, gas. Because while the world was obsessed with crude oil, a quieter and more strategic resource was waiting beneath Imo soil, untapped, underestimated, unnoticed until now. For years, many people viewed Imo State as just another southeastern state with untapped potentials. But today, massive oil and gas infrastructure projects are beginning to change that perception. Not theories, not promises, not political speeches. Real projects, real infrastructures, real investments. And together, they are quietly transforming Imo into one of Nigeria's most important emerging energy corridors. The world is changing, not gradually, but decisively. For over a century, crude oil ruled the global economy. It powered industries, moved nations, created billionaires, and destroyed economies. But today, that dominance is being challenged. Environmental pressure, climate agreement, and technological evolution, all pushing the world toward cleaner energy. And in this transition, one resource has emerged as a bridge between the old world and the new: natural gas. Cleaner than oil, more flexible than coal, and critical for electricity generation. Nigeria, one of the most resource-rich nations in Africa, holds massive gas reserves. Yet, for decades, much of it was simply burned off, wasted through flaring. Now, this mistake is being corrected. The federal government, through initiatives like the Decade of Gas, is repositioning Nigeria as a gas-powered economy. And suddenly, regions that were once secondary in oil are becoming primary in gas. Imo State is one of them. To understand Imo's rise, you must understand geography. Because in energy, location is power. Imo State sits within Nigeria's Greater Niger Delta Basin, one of the richest hydrocarbon regions in Africa. But more importantly, it sits at a strategic crossroad, bordering River State, Abia State, and Anambra State. This positioning gives Imo something invaluable: connectivity. Pipelines can move gas efficiently. Industries can access supply quickly. Markets are within reach. And in the oil and gas industry, efficiency is profit. This is why investors are beginning to look again, not at where oil has always been, but where gas can move best. At the center of this transformation is the Assa North-Ohaji South Gas Project, also known as the ANOH Gas Project, a strategic partnership involving Seplat Energy and Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited. This is not a small project. It is one of Nigeria's most ambitious gas developments in recent years. The ANOH project is designed to process approximately 300 million standard cubic feet of gas per day, positioning Imo State as a major domestic gas supplier And after years of anticipation, the project recently achieved a major milestone: first gas delivery. According to reports, gas from the ANOH project has now started flowing into industrial users, including Idoroma petrochemical operations in Rivers State. That changes everything, because once gas starts flowing, industries follow, power projects follow, manufacturing follows, and investment follows. Every transformation has a trigger. For Imo State, that trigger is the Assa North-Ohaji South Gas Project, often called the ANOH Gas Project. This is not just another energy project. It is a statement, a declaration that Imo is no longer on the sidelines. Developed by Seplat Energy in partnership with Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the project is designed to process vast volumes of gas daily, but its true significance goes beyond numbers. It represents confidence from major industry players, long-term investment commitment, and a shift in Nigeria's energy geography. And once a project of this scale takes root, others follow, because in oil and gas, investment attracts investment.
The 40 cubic feet of gas plants and 200 million barrels of condensate production benchmark, earlier inaugurated in 2024 by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is set to commence operations in Assa community of Imo State in July 2025. This came to the fore during a high-level visit of the management of ANOH Gas on the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma, preparatory to the formal takeoff of the plant, which is a product of 50-50% equity incorporated joint venture between NNPC Limited and Seplat.
Last year, President Bola Tinubu Ahmed commissioned the plant during May, one of the key projects in Nigeria. So since then, we've been working on the plant, and now we came to inform the Excellency that we are ready now to start commissioning the plant with gas, and also to start gas production sometime in July. So from July this year, Imo State will join one of the biggest states for gas production in the country.
I'm happy that they're about to go into operation, and I'm also happy that the value it will add to Imo State and indeed Nigeria is also enormous. So on that note, we have discussed and have pledged to cooperate with them, to give them all the necessary support, and also requested that they should also cooperate with us in our developmental strides in Imo State.
The plant is designed to process 3 million standard cubic feet of gas to the energy market and liquefied petroleum gas to the domestic market in Imo, along with the corporate social responsibilities in the history of the community and beyond.
Behind much of Imo's rising energy profile is Seplat Energy, through OML 53 operations in Imo State. Seplat controls strategic oil and gas assets, including flow stations, gas infrastructure, and producing fields. The company's investments go beyond extraction. They are helping build gas gathering systems, export pipelines, processing infrastructure, and industrial supply networks. This is important because modern oil and gas investment is no longer just about drilling wells. It's about building an ecosystem, and that ecosystem is beginning to emerge in Imo State. Then comes perhaps the most symbolic project of all, the Waltersmith refinery and petrochemical company refinery complex in North-Ohaji, Egbema. The refinery became one of Nigeria's most successful modular refinery projects when it first began operations in 2020. But the story did not stop there. Today, the refinery is expanding aggressively. Recent reports confirm that Waltersmith has increased refining capacity from 5,000 barrels per day to 10,000 barrels per day through its Phase 2 expansion, and even more ambitious plans are already underway. The company is pushing towards a larger 50,000 BPD refining complex incandescent refinery, and an industrial innovation park, petrochemical expansion infrastructure. This is no longer just a refinery, it's evolving into an industrial energy hub.
This is the newly completed modular refinery constructed by Waltersmith Petroman Oil Limited, located in Ibigwe community in North-Ohaji Egbema local government area of Imo State. According to the management of Waltersmith, this refinery, which was completed in record time, is expected to produce 5,000 barrels of oil per day and 271 million litres of petroleum products, including diesel, kerosene, PMS, aviation fuel and LPG, which is just the first phase of the project, while in the second phase, the facility will target the production of 25,000 barrels of oil per day.
By doing this process, we're going to add value by creating jobs, employment for a lot of people, skills acquisition, contribution to the overall economic development and GDP growth.
When we go into petrochemicals, and we go...
The Managing Director and CEO of Waltersmith Petroman Oil Limited, Chikezie Nwosu, says aside job creation for the host community, the impact on the immediate community will be enormous, especially when the Waltersmith goes into petrochemicals.
The jobs it will create, because the upstream business that we started doesn't create that many jobs, but the downstream business creates multiples of jobs. And we've seen that even in the construction phase, where the number of jobs that were created, this entire outside battery limit was built specifically by Nigerians. There's a company that was running it, but the hands that were doing this were Nigerians, both skilled and unskilled labor.
Meanwhile, the leader of the team from the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, Mr. Yusuf Usman, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Gas and Power, commends Waltersmith for this laudable project.
If we are in a position to reflect this kind of activity, it means we can reach self-sufficiency in terms of processing petroleum crude oil and create the products and safe foreign exchange from importation.
According to the Waltersmith management, the official launch of this facility is expected to come up later in October, and no doubt when operations at this modular refinery start fully, access to affordable petroleum products for people in the southeast will be made easier and faster.
What makes all these projects powerful is not just their size, it's their connection. Think about it. ANOH supplies gas, pipelines transport energy, Waltersmith refines petroleum products, industrial parks attracts manufacturers, power project supports factories. Suddenly, an entire economic corridor begins to form. This is how major industrial regions are born, not from one project, but from interconnected infrastructures. Nigeria is entering a new era. For decades, the focus was on export. Export crude oil, export raw resources, import refined products. But that model is changing. Now the focus is shifting toward domestic refining, gas-powered industries, local manufacturing, energy security, and Imo State is positioning itself right in the middle of that transition. The rise of modular refineries, gas processing plants, and industrial zones is turning the state into something far bigger than an oil-producing region. It is becoming an energy processing center. Resources alone do not create wealth. Infrastructure does. Pipelines, roads, processing plants, power stations. These are the veins through which energy flows. And for years, this is where many regions failed. But Imo is beginning to align with a new strategy. Build first, attract investment next. Roads are being extended into oil-bearing communities. Pipeline networks are expanding. Power infrastructure is being tied directly to gas production. This creates a powerful circle. Gas fuels power. Power fuels industry. Industry creates jobs. Jobs create economic growth. And suddenly, a resource becomes an economy. For decades, the Niger Delta carried a reputation, a region rich in resources, but plagued by instability, pipeline vandalism, oil theft, community conflict. These were not just local issues, they were global investment barriers. But something is changing. A new model is emerging, one that prioritizes community participation, economic inclusion, and local employment. Because when communities benefit, they protect. Add to this technology-driven surveillance, stronger enforcement, and government intervention. And the narrative begins to shift from risk to opportunity. No energy boom happens in isolation. Government plays a decisive role. In Imo State, policies are beginning to reflect ambition, opening land for industrial use, supporting energy investments, and encouraging partnerships. At the federal level, the presence of NNPC Limited provides credibility and structure. Because in oil and gas, confidence is everything, and confidence comes from policy stability. The real value of gas is not export, it is transformation. Gas powers industries, and industries build economies. With consistent gas supply, Imo can support fertilizer production, petrochemical industries, manufacturing hubs. This is where the real wealth lies, not in raw resources, but in what those resources create. Behind every billion-dollar investment are human lives, young engineers finding purpose, local businesses expanding, and communities gaining access to opportunity. Oil and gas is not just an industry, it is a life-changing force, and for Imo State, this could redefine an entire generation. Let's be realistic. Imo is not yet competing directly with River State or Delta State. These states have decades of infrastructure and dominance. But the future is not about replacing them. It is about complementing them because the energy industry is evolving. And in that evolution, gas is king. Opportunity comes with responsibility. Environmental risk remains real. Pollution, gas flaring, community tensions, if mismanaged, this can derail progress. The lesson from the Niger Delta is clear. Development without responsibility leads to conflict. So what lies ahead? If current trend continues, Imo State could become a major gas processing hub, an industrial powerhouse, a key investment destination, not by replacing others, but by becoming something new, a gas-driven economy.
Enable it to achieve the desired development required of a gas nation.
We have a lot of gas in this country. 260 CF of gas, trillion cubic feet of gas. That is our gas reserve. Already discovered gas reserves. 206 trillion cubic feet of gas. And all these 206 trillion cubic feet of gas was found while looking for oil. So it was found accidentally. Nobody was actually going looking for gas and found gas. They were always looking for oil, then they found gas. And in that process of accidentally finding gas, we have found up to 206 TCF. So the belief is that if we really target to look for gas, dedicatedly look for gas, we'll find up to 600 trillion cubic feet of gas.
According to the minister, the country's transition from gas to renewable fuel will be gradual after it has fully utilized the benefits associated with gas.
So gas, we have not even utilized it. We have not even used gas to drive our cars. We have not even used gas to generate electricity. We have not used gas to even do our fertilizer plants. We have not used gas to do our petrochemical plants and our methanol plants. And yet they say, okay, now you should abandon this thing and move to renewable.
As the world shifts and energy transition redefine global power, new players will rise. Not always the loudest, not always the most expected, but the most prepared. And right now, quietly, strategically, Imo State is positioning itself for that moment. From the massive potential of the Assa North-Ohaji South Gas Project to the growing investor interest across the region, what we are witnessing may not yet be the full transformation, but it is something just as important, a beginning, because every major energy hub in history started exactly like this. Small signs, silent moves, ignored opportunities, until suddenly the world could no longer ignore it. So the real question is not, is Imo State already a major oil and gas hub? The real question is, are we watching the rise before every other person sees it? The real question now is no longer does Imo have oil and gas? The debate is over. The real question is, can Imo sustain and scale this momentum fast enough to become one of Nigeria's defining industrial energy hubs? Because if these projects continue expanding, then what we are witnessing today may only be the beginning. History does not always repeat itself. Sometimes it shifts direction. And when it does, those who recognize the shift early define the future. Imo State may not have been part of Nigeria's oil story yesterday as much as Delta or River State, but today it is writing a new chapter, and tomorrow it may become one of the most important energy destinations in Africa. If you found this documentary insightful, then you already know this is just the beginning. Subscribe now for more deep, powerful documentaries on Nigeria's hidden investment opportunities, the future of the Southeast, cities, wealth, and economic transformation. Because on this channel, we don't just follow the news, we reveal what's coming next. Do you believe Imo State can truly become Nigeria's next oil and gas hub? Or will states like River State and Delta State remain dominant? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you learned something new. Share it with someone interested in investment opportunities. Turn on notification so you never miss what's coming next.